Lord to help me then. Kind of let tonight slip up on me. But the Lord started dealing with my heart this morning. I woke up and I had this thought on my heart. The Lord started helping me and blessing me. And I just want to obey the Lord tonight. And I know if He'll help me, I can do it. I can't do anything, but I can do all things through Him. I truly do love the Lord. I thank Him for bringing me through. I had a battle this weekend, Sister Beth. If I ever had a battle, I had one this weekend. It's my own fault, too. It really wasn't a battle, I don't guess, but I don't know. It was hard times anyway. And it wasn't because of anybody else but myself. It's because I let that old devil get in my ear. And I was just so confused. And I said, well, Lord, I want your will. But when I finally accepted the Lord's will, I just felt such a hurt come over my body. I said, well, Lord, if this is your will, why am I hurting? Why am I hurting, Lord? If this is your will today, this morning, I didn't understand. I knew that I gave over to the Lord's will. I knew I put my way out of the way. And I wanted what God wanted. I just didn't know why it was hurting so bad. And Lord, that was my heart this morning. I heard a preacher talk about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. And after I heard him mention that, he didn't preach about this or anything. Lord just brought to my memory. Jesus was in that garden praying, Sister Dave. He was sitting there and he said, until the sweat became as great drops of blood. But yet he said, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. He was in the will of God praying, but it wasn't easy on him. It wasn't easy for them to drive the nails in his hand, but he was in the will of God. So Lord, let me know something today, that even though it is His will, it's still not going to be easy. I guess I just expected God's will to be a bed of roses, but it's a good way still, even though it's got trials and tribulations. But God brought me through it. God brought me through it, and I thank God for that. And I truly do love the Lord. I'd like to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 18. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, some very familiar scriptures here. Jeremiah chapter 18, starting in verse number 1, it says, the word which came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, arise and go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause thee to hear my word. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter, so he made it again, another vessel, as seemed good to the potter, that made it. Then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, O house of Israel, can I not do with thee as this potter? Said the Lord, behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in mine hand, O house of Israel. Can we go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 31? Deuteronomy 31, verse number 6. Be strong and of good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, He it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Can we go to the Lord in prayer? Lord, Heavenly Father, I thank you, Jesus, so much, Lord. Lord, I thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you, Lord.
Lord, I ask you, Jesus, Lord, to give me the words to speak to God, Lord. Give me the words, Lord. Jesus, I don't know. Lord, I don't know. Hallelujah. Lord, I thank you, Jesus. Lord, you let me know what you do. Lord, I'm nothing, Lord, Jesus. I truly love you. But I love you, Jesus, and I thank you, Lord. I ask you, Jesus, Lord, to please help us, Jesus, tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Hallelujah. I woke up this morning with a thought on my heart that you're in good hands. You're in good hands. And I started thinking about that, where that logo comes from. Allstate Insurance, they have the logo. You're in good hands. That guy comes on there with that real deep voice. He says, you're in good hands with Allstate. I started thinking about that, just what is Allstate. Allstate is an insurance company. I believe they insure cars and houses. I'm sure most of us in here know what Allstate is. But I just started thinking about what insurance was. And insurance is you pay into it, and when something happens to you, it'll help you. And I started thinking about that, how you pay your car insurance. Really, a lot of us, the only reason we pay it is to keep from getting a ticket when we get pulled over. That's my reason. But I was just thinking about that, how what insurance does. It helps you. Say if I was to get sick and I got health insurance, I could go to the doctor and they would help me pay for what I got to take care of. That's what Allstate's saying here. They say you have our insurance. You come to us. you pay us. And when you get sick, when you get hurt, when you get in a car wreck, we will help you. You're in good hands with us. And I started thinking today, and I didn't know what verses to use when I was preaching this message, or I knew the Deuteronomy verse, but I was listening to a preacher preach this morning on my phone, and I was working, I had my earphones in, and he started talking about the potter's wheel. And the Lord started dealing with me about that clay in that potter's hand, and how it says it was marred in the hand of the potter. It was in the potter's hand. Hallelujah, we talk about that right there, how it was in the potter's hand. And the Lord started dealing with me that we're in good hands tonight. We're in good hands. We're in the hands of the potter. Hallelujah, we're in the hands of God tonight. And He's making us what He wants us to be. But another thought that came to my heart was, how do you know you're in good hands until something happens to you, Stephen? How do you can pay that insurance your whole life and never have a car wreck, and it won't do you no good? But when you have a car wreck, you can call that insurance company and say, hey, I'm in trouble. And you realize right then, hey, this does help. You know, you don't ever want insurance, so you have to have it. I guess Uncle Dan, he had that trailer, and he had insurance on it for so long. And his insurance contract went out, and he never went out and got more insurance. And about a week after that insurance canceled, Sister Dan, a tree fell right through the center of his trailer. And he had to pay for that out of his pocket, donations and stuff, because he didn't have insurance. But you just don't understand how good them hands are until you have to realize, hey, they do help. You know what I'm saying tonight, friend? Hallelujah, we're in the potter's hand. But if we never go through a trial, or if we never get marred up, how do we know that God's still working on us? Hallelujah, we're in the potter's hand. We're in His good hands tonight. Hallelujah, but how do we realize that unless He has to mold us a little bit? Unless we have to see just how good He is. You know, trials and tribulations, they're for our good, whether we realize it or not. Hallelujah, I don't like to think of it that way. I don't like them at all, friend. Hallelujah, but it's in them times that I feel like God is right there with us. Hallelujah, it's when we realize, hey, just where we're at, when everything seems to go wrong, when everything seems to be going against you, but you can feel the sweet hand of God, hallelujah, forming you and making you. That's when you know that you're in good hands tonight. Hallelujah, but if it was always calm, hallelujah, then Peter and them on that boat, if that water would have stayed calm, they would have had no need to call on the Master. Hallelujah, but when the water started rising, hallelujah, the wind started blowing, they started calling out on Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus awoke and says, you have little faith, He calmed the waters. Hallelujah, but if they would have never called on Him, hallelujah, how would they have known He could help them? Hallelujah, you know, we think about that, if we never been in a valley, how do we appreciate the mountaintop? Hallelujah, if we've never been in a trial, how do we appreciate the sunshine shining through? Hallelujah, if we've never gone through things, how do we realize just how good God is? Hallelujah, Amber and them sing a song. It says, if I never had a problem, how could I know that God would solve them? Hallelujah, that's the truth tonight. Hallelujah, I just felt like talking to us tonight about, are we in the Lord's hands? Hallelujah, if we're in the Lord's hands, He can help us, friend. Hallelujah, if you're on that old potter's wheel and the Lord's just molding you and making you, He can do right by you. You can have that insurance, so to speak. You can have insurance and you can have assurance. Hallelujah, that's where your soul lies. Hallelujah, but you've got to be in that potter's hand. Hallelujah, it's a choice that we have to make this evening. Hallelujah, it's just like that old insurance is. Hallelujah, you know, it's my choice whether I do right and I pay it. Hallelujah, it's my choice whether I go out and get insurance. If I ever have a house and go out and buy insurance on it and pay that insurance monthly, it's a responsibility. Hallelujah, pay that insurance, you have to do it. Whenever that bill comes in, you've got to pay it. Hallelujah, whenever times come for an inspection, you've got to have an inspection if you want that insurance to do you any good. Hallelujah, but if I never put an effort toward having insurance, if I never put forth the effort of calling Allstate or whatever other insurance company there are and getting insured, how can I expect something like that to help when I'm in trouble? Hallelujah, you know, if you ain't with God, if you ain't with God just how you need to be, how can you expect God to come to your rescue when you don't call on Him? Hallelujah, we've got to make the effort tonight. tonight to be in the Father's hands, to be in the potter's hands. Hallelujah. But we've got to do that, you know, and it's up to us to keep that insurance. If you don't pay that bill, hallelujah, when that bill comes in the mail, hallelujah, however you get the bill, hallelujah, they'll drop your insurance. Hallelujah, they won't insure you no more. Hallelujah, that's the way the Lord is tonight. Hallelujah, we can be in His hands, but we've got to remain in His hands. We've got to stay there. We've got to stay in the place where God can work with us. We've got to stay in the place where God can deal with our heart. Hallelujah, it's just like how insurance is. There's certain things you can do to violate that insurance policy, you know. They have certain things, you know. Hallelujah, if I cause an accident, my insurance is not going to pay for it. Hallelujah, I don't know how it works, but I don't figure they will. Hallelujah, if I intentionally cause the wreck, hallelujah, how could I expect the insurance to pay for it? Hallelujah, it's just like with God. If we jump out of God's hands, how can we expect to be in God's hands when troubles hit? Hallelujah, how can we expect to do good or for our family to do good when we're not doing good ourselves? Hallelujah, how can we expect God to move when we're not willing to move for Him? Hallelujah, I pray I'm saying something tonight that'll help. Oh, thank you, Jesus. And He's such a good Savior tonight. He's willing to give you a policy this evening. Hallelujah, I know it might sound carnal to us, but that's what I feel on my heart. Hallelujah, we can bring out a policy with the Lord. We can have, hallelujah, that insurance with Him if we want it. Hallelujah, we can have the insurance that when something goes wrong, we can call upon the name of the Lord and He'll be there. Hallelujah, it says over there in Deuteronomy, it says He'll never leave or He'll never fail thee or forsake thee. He'll always be with you. He said, the Lord thy God, He it is that does go before thee. He'll never fail thee nor forsake thee, or I might have got it backwards there. Hallelujah, but if we are not following the Lord, hallelujah, how can we expect Him to be with us? Hallelujah, the Lord's leading you tonight. He's leading you, you know, He goes before you, but if you don't follow close to the Lord, hallelujah, how can we expect Him to be there when we want Him? Hallelujah, you know, hallelujah, oh, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah, you know, we want the Lord to help us, but do we want to help the Lord tonight? But we say the Lord don't need our help. Hallelujah, the Lord don't need our help, but God wants your help tonight. I feel like God wants to use you, friend. God wants to use each and every one of us. We all have talents. Hallelujah, just as them men did over in Matthew chapter 25, I believe it was. They all had talents. Hallelujah, some of them chose to put them to use, you know, put them and gain usury with them, and the other just folded his in a napkin and they set it down. Hallelujah, the other two were paying towards their insurance, so to speak. They were working for what they had. They were working for what they wanted, but that other one chose just to sit back. Hallelujah, you know, just sit back and let's see what happens. And when God comes back, we can give Him an excuse about what we was trying to do. Hallelujah, but when God seen that man, how he put no effort forth to work for God, how he put no effort, hallelujah, into what God gave him to do. The Lord told him, He says, cast this unprofitable servant in the lake of fire, or, you know, the lake that burns with fire, or however He put it there, and weeping and gnashing of teeth. Hallelujah, because he didn't try to work with God. Hallelujah, but we read about them other ones. The one that had the 5 went out and gained 10. Hallelujah, the Lord told them, He says, he said, welcome, enter to the joys of thy salvation. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Hallelujah, come on in. He went in. The one that had 2 went out and gained 2 more, 4, however much it was, went out and got more. And the Lord said, well done. Hallelujah, we've got to follow the Lord tonight. We've got to do what He has us to do. Hallelujah, we want the Lord to always be there for us. But I want to ask you a question. Are you where the Lord wants you to be tonight? Hallelujah, are you where the Lord wants you to be tonight? Hey, we always want Him to be a one prayer away. We always want the Lord just to be a little 5-minute prayer away, or maybe a minute prayer away. Hallelujah, but are we where the Lord wants us to be tonight? Hallelujah, it don't matter where we want the Lord to be, but if we'll get in that place that He wants us to be in, we can be right close to Him. Hallelujah, we can be close to God, but it's going to take us moving up. It's going to take us having a closer walk with the Lord. Hallelujah, we've got to have that close closer walk with Him if we want to be in His hands. Hallelujah. You know, He's more than willing, hallelujah, to stretch out His arms and welcome you home. Hallelujah. He's more than willing to welcome you in and put you in His hands. He wants you on that potter's wheel tonight, because when you're on that potter's wheel, He can make you into whom you want to be, or who He wants you to be. Hallelujah. If He sees a mistake, He can break it down. He can start all over. But if we're not willing to get up on that potter's wheel tonight, if we're not willing for the Lord to change us, how can He? Hallelujah. If we're not willing for the Lord to move for it, or for us to move for Him, how can we expect Him to move for us? Hallelujah, we've got to be doing what it takes. Hallelujah, there's another slogan. The slogan is, you're in good hands. Hallelujah, when you serve the Lord, hallelujah, you are in good hands. You are in the Lord's hand. But they asked a question there, that man does on some of them commercials, and he asked the question, instead of saying you're in good hands, he asked them, are you in good hands? He asked them that, I believe, in some of the commercials, not only telling them you're in good hands, but he also asked them the question, are you in good hands? Hallelujah. I want to be in good hands tonight. I want to be in the hands of the Lord, because that's where He desires us to be. He desires us to be in the center of His will. Hallelujah. If we stay there, it'll be such a smooth road. But if you ever got off the road a little bit and try to get back on the road, hallelujah, it ain't as easy to get back on the road as what you think. Hallelujah, it's rough trying to get back on the road sometimes. You're liable to end up in a ditch stuck, or you're liable to end up, hallelujah, going further and further off the side of the road before you can actually get back in the center of the way. Hallelujah, but if we will stay where the Lord wants us to be, if we can stay in the palm of His hand tonight, hallelujah, we can stay on the straight and narrow way, and we can stay right in the center of it tonight. We ain't got to be on the left side of it or the right side. Hallelujah, but we can be in the center of the way. We ain't got to worry about running off the road. We ain't got to worry about what this is doing and what that one's doing. We just got to worry about whether or not we're in the Lord's hand tonight. Hallelujah. If I worry about you having insurance tonight, if I'm an insurance salesman trying to sell you insurance tonight, but here I am without insurance myself, what good does that do? Hallelujah. I have to have insurance myself before I can sell it to somebody else. Hallelujah. It's just with the Lord. You have to worry about yourself. You have to make sure you're in good hands before you can put your brother in good hands. You have to put yourself on the potter's wheel before you can place your brother up there. You know what I'm saying tonight? Hallelujah. I pray I'm saying something that'll help. Hallelujah. But we've got to be in the good hands of the Father tonight. Hallelujah. It's up to us whether we get there or not. Hallelujah, friend. There's that song. It says, it's not my brother nor my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Hallelujah, friend. I can't put you up on the potter's wheel tonight. I can't put you in the good hands of the Father. Hallelujah, only you can make that decision. But I'm trying to get you tonight. I'm trying to sell you that insurance. Hallelujah. Dad used to work with a man over at King Cutter. He quit over there, got laid off or something. Now the man's selling insurance. Hallelujah, I'd like to sell you some insurance tonight. Hallelujah, I'd like to sell you some of the greatest insurance you ever know. Hallelujah, insurance that comes without a charge. Insurance that comes through the precious blood of Jesus Christ tonight. Hallelujah, it'll help you spiritually. It'll help you physically. It'll help you in every aspect of your life. But you've got to be willing to accept it tonight. Hallelujah, the Lord will give you peace, but you've got to be willing to welcome it in. Hallelujah, the Lord will open His arms unto you, but you've got to be willing to run unto Him. Hallelujah, He's done His part at Calvary. Hallelujah, He's already opened the door for you, friend. It's up to you to walk in it. Hallelujah, I would love, hallelujah, to have insurance on my life tonight. I want to have insurance and assurance. Hallelujah, I want to have a policy on my life so strong. Hallelujah, that nothing can deter me. Hallelujah, I want to have such a strong, hallelujah, insurance plan. Hallelujah, that the Lord is just 1 second away. Hallelujah, when I get in trouble, I can say, Lord, help me. And He'll be right there to help me. Hallelujah, if we're in His hands, He will be. Hallelujah, but if we get off the road a little bit, if we get off the road quite a bit, we're going to have to pray time. It might take a couple more days for that help to get there. Hallelujah. But if you're a good customer of that insurance company, but if you're a good customer, you pay your bill on time. You ain't a threat to them. You ain't a risk to them. Hallelujah. But you're a good customer, a good driver. Hallelujah. They're more likely to help you more frequently. Hallelujah. But it's when you ain't good. It's when you don't pay your bill on time. It's when you don't send the bill in. Hallelujah. They say, well, he says, we'll help him if we got to. But if we can get out of it, we're going to. Hallelujah. I feel like they do that sometimes. The old insurance company, if they see you as a risk, hallelujah, they'll try to drop you. Or they'll try, not to help you as much because you're a risk to them. They'll make your insurance so high you can barely afford it. Hallelujah. But I want to have a good insurance plan tonight. I want to be so close to the man that sold me the insurance. Hallelujah. That all I have to do is say, Lord, will you help? Lord, would you help me? And he'll be there to help. Hallelujah. You can be like that tonight. You can be in good hands tonight if you choose to be. Hallelujah. There's a song that says, I choose to be a Christian. And that's really what it comes down to tonight. Do you choose to be a Christian? Do you choose to walk the road that the Lord has for you to walk? Do you choose to be in the potter's hand tonight? Hallelujah. If you ain't in the potter's hand, or maybe you're fixing to fall out of it, I pray you get right back up in the center of it. Hallelujah. I pray you get right back up to the place where God wants you to be, friend. Hallelujah. Because it pays to have insurance. Yes. You might think, well, what's good is it do me? You might think, well, these people out here, hallelujah, they're rich and they're increased with good, but they're not saved. How come, I have to live like this and I barely get by? How come they're enjoying what they're enjoying and they don't even confess? They don't even try to be Christian, but they're enjoying life. They're having fun. They got money. How come is that? How come I need insurance? How come I need to be in the potter's hand, but yet my life is so much worse than theirs? Hallelujah. Well, hallelujah, when the storm comes, you've got help. Hallelujah, when your final breath is taken, you can say, you can hear them words, well done. Hallelujah, but that man out there that's enjoying the wealth, that man out there that's eating fine dinners while the little beggar man's sitting at the gate, hallelujah, that little beggar man last year had assurance. He had insurance. Hallelujah, when he died, the angels came and carried him to Abraham's bosom. But that rich man, it don't even mention that rich man's name, friend. Hallelujah, you don't even mention his name in the Bible. It just says there was a rich man and then there was a beggar named Lazarus. I've always loved that. Hallelujah, I have. Or say for a little while, I really like that. How the rich man, the man that had all the friends, the man that had all the food, he didn't even have a name. Hallelujah, but that little poor man that's only friends was the dogs that would come and lick his sores. He had a name and God knew his name. Hallelujah, he had insurance. That rich man didn't have no insurance. Hallelujah, you know how the story goes. It says the beggar man died and was carried by the angels to Abraham's bosom. Then it said the rich man dies and in hell lift up his eyes. Hallelujah, he was thinking then when he was down there in that lake of fire crying out, saying, Lord help me, Lord send Lazarus just to dip his finger in water and touch my tongue. He was thinking then, man, I wish I would have had insurance. I hope I'm saying something tonight that'll help. It might sound foolish, and I hope it don't, but you need insurance tonight. You need the blood of Jesus on your life, friend. You need the blood of Jesus to cover you from the top of your head to the sole of your feet. Hallelujah, you especially need it upon your heart's door. Hallelujah, you need that blood of Jesus on your doorpost. Hallelujah, if you're ever going to have insurance. Hallelujah, if you're ever going to have the ability to hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant, you've got to have the blood of Jesus. That's the only insurance policy I need tonight. Hallelujah, spiritually talking. Hallelujah, I'm not trying to sell you real insurance. I'm trying to tell you, you've got to get saved. You've got to do what God wants you to do. Hallelujah, if you want God to move for you, you move for God. If you want God to help you, you try your best to help God. If you want God to be your friend, you be a friend to God. Hallelujah, if we do these things, God will help us. He'll never leave us, or He'll never forsake us. But He'll go with us always, even to the end of the world. Hallelujah, but we've got to pay the bill, so to speak. We've got to live the life that it takes. God, is from us. Hallelujah. That sounds foolish tonight. I hope it don't. Hallelujah. But if it does, just try to bear it with me. Hallelujah. But we've got to have insurance. We've got to have Jesus Christ. We've got to obey God, friend. Hallelujah. We've got to obey Jesus. Hallelujah. If we want God to help us, we've got to help God. If we want to be in the good hands, we've got to stay in the good hands. Hallelujah. We've got to stay there. We've got to stay there. I just felt like asking you this question tonight. Are you in good hands? Are you in good hands? Thank you, Jesus. You know, I want you to ask yourself this question tonight. Am I in good hands? Am I where God wants me to be? Am I as close to God as I need to be? And the answer to that, none of us is as close to God as we need to be, friend. I was thinking about it before service. You know, it didn't matter if I prayed every hour of the day, I was praying up. Hallelujah. But I just want you to ask yourself these questions tonight. And if you answer no to any of these questions, I wish you'd come and make that answer yes. But are you in good hands tonight? Are you close enough to God that when you call, He answers? Are you close enough to God when He calls you? Do you answer Him? Hallelujah. God deals for you to do something. Do you do it? Hallelujah. Or are you where you need to be with the Lord? Hallelujah. Are you doing what His Bible tells you to do? Hallelujah. Are you living the way that God has for you to live? Hallelujah. We can be tonight, and we can be in the center of His hands. You know, there's safety under His wings. Hallelujah. We'll read a couple more scriptures here to you. Over in Psalms, it says, one of the verses says, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Are you under the Lord's wings tonight? Hallelujah. Another verse that says, keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. I'm reminded of that scripture over in Luke. It said, O Jerusalem, O Jerusalem, how often I gathered your children in as a hen doth her brood, but ye would not. Hallelujah. Are you under the shadow of His wings tonight? Are you in His hands? Or has He got them held out to you and you just went run to Him? I don't know the answers to these questions, and I answer them for myself. And I know that I've got several. I need to move up. I say that, you know, it don't matter how close you are to God, you've got room to move up. But I wish we could be in good hands tonight. I wish we could get in good hands and stay in good hands. Let's run. His arms are open wide. You know, to the saved and for the saint. Hallelujah. To the saved and for the saints. You know, I'm young, I'm 17, and my insurance plan, it's expensive. It really is, because I'm male and I'm 17 and they count me as a reckless driver, I guess. But you got Dad, he's 40 something, and he's got his insurance cheaper, but we both have to have it. We both have to have insurance, you know. And that's just like you say, you know, everybody's got to have insurance. Hallelujah. If you're going to make it home, if you're going to hear well done, you've got to have that blood of Jesus on your life. I hope I said something tonight that would help. And I pray that if you ain't in the God's hands like He wants you to be, if you just ain't as close to God as you want to be, you come. Hallelujah. You come and you get in His hands. And if you get in the center of God's will, He'll supply all your needs according to His riches and glory. He said He'll give you the desires of your heart. Hallelujah. I've used that scripture several times and wanted stuff that I didn't need. And I said, Lord, give me the desires of my heart. And it just didn't come to pass. But you know, if you get in the center of God's will like He wants you to be, if you get just right, you won't want the worldly pleasures no more. You want what God has for you. And He'll give it to you. But you've got to have that good plan tonight. You've got to have the blood of Jesus on your life. And you've got to renew that plan every now and then. Hallelujah. You might have to have an inspection every now and then to see if the insurance still holds. Hallelujah. Inspect yourself tonight. You know, insurance people, they'll walk around the house and if they see the porch steps are rotten or they see the deck rails ain't as tight as they used to be and as good as they used to be, they'll tell you, they said, well, if you want us to continue to insure this house, you're going to have to fix these things because it's a liability. That's the way the Lord is. You inspect yourself tonight and you let the Lord talk to you. If He tells you, hey, you've got to get this taken care of. If you've got to get this taken care of, it's worth it, friends. It's worth it. Can we come around authenticated